DISC test has identified objective thinker as your behavioral trait. From an emotional perspective, you reject interpersonal aggression. You don't like it when people come at you, and you just absolutely reject this aggression by other people. You want people to come in invited. Your goal is correctness. You want to make sure that things are correct, that they're accurate, that they're based on facts. And you judge others by their ability to think logically. You want to make sure that they can think at a logical perspective, a logical level, and from a logical perspective. You influence others by the use of facts, of data, and logical arguments. You go through the facts. You want to know what's going on. What do the facts tell me about the realities, and make sure that you're being as real as possible. And because of that, you can have great value to the organization. You define and clarify. You obtain and evaluate information, and you test it to make sure that it's accurate. Although you might overuse analysis, you might get into the analysis paralysis mode at times, and under pressure you'll become worrisome about whether or not you have all the facts. You'll become worrisome from a lot of different perspectives, and this is just part of who you are. You fear irrational acts and ridicule coming from others, and because of that, it has a tendency to make you worry, to get you more bogged down in the details, and that's when you maybe should be going out and looking for help and looking at someone to come alongside you, especially a mentoring partner and that kind of thing. But you have highly developed critical thinking abilities. You have the ability to be able to look at things and to go in and research the data, to analyze what's going on, to look at the facts and to understand them at a critical level. You seek correctness and accuracy in everything, and you emphasize the importance of facts when drawing conclusions and planning any kind of an action at all. You combine intuitive information with the facts and avoid public failure by repeating meticulously, or by preparing meticulously. You make sure that everything is ready to go and that you're all set ahead of time. You're very valuable from a project perspective in that way, because most projects, when they're started, if the preparation is done well, the execution works well. If it isn't done well, it won't work well. The 80-20 principle applies here. Make sure that the preparation is done ahead of time, and it'll take care of 80% of the problems will be taken care of in the preparation time, and that's what you want. And it can be done in 20% of the time it can in the execution phase. So you like to combine intuitive information with the facts and avoid public failure by preparing meticulous, but you also master new skills privately, then in a group activity. So you're not going to go out and just put yourself out there. You're going to plan and master these new skills privately, make sure that you know what's going on, and then you'll introduce them to the public. And this is, again, this is a great benefit to an organization or to a project team, and to an individual, as an individual practitioner even. You prefer to work with others in a peaceful work environment, so you don't want environments that are haphazard and there's frustration and friction in relationships. So you tend to work in environments where it's a little bit more peaceful environment. You may be shy and reticent in expressing your feelings, which is fine, but you want to learn to be open and look for other people's feelings, for taking them into account and letting other people know how you feel. That's something you can work on to increase your effectiveness around people. You're particularly uncomfortable with aggressive people. So when you meet aggressive people, these are people that are probably trying to push through your objectivity, trying to push through the facts and trying to make things happen. And you want to have a collaborative type of arrangement with these people. Make sure that they understand what the goals are, you understand what the goals are, and so that you can think about these things from a tactful a tactics perspective. Make sure that they understand and you know, and you've collaborated on these things. If you don't collaborate, these aggressive type people are going to be very frustrating to you. Despite being mild-mannered, you have a strong need to control your environment. So you're the type of person who wants to make sure that everything's going your way and that you've controlled it specifically. Again, make sure that you collaborate with the people around you so they understand what this is and how it works, and doesn't build barriers, but can build bridges. And a collaborative relationship with people who, especially those who seem to be aggressive around you, or those who are close to you, will help you to become more effective and to be the kind of person that the people want to be around more, and they'll also tend to give you more opportunities and to provide you more opportunities for growth when you do collaborate with them. You're concerned with the right answer, and you may have trouble making decisions in ambiguous situations. So when things come up where you don't have all the facts, it's going to be difficult for you to make decisions, and that's when you have to rely on somebody who's a little bit more intuitive in nature, who's a little bit less, who's more sensory in nature, who's more perception. They look for perceptions, they perceive things in life, and so they'll give you opportunities to work. So You have a tendency to worry, so you may get bogged down in the analysis paralysis. Again, that can be an issue with you. You might tend to overanalyze everything. You hesitate to acknowledge mistakes. Instead, you search for information that supports your position. This can be a problem because if you've made a mistake and you don't think it's a mistake, you'll go out and look for the information to try to support your position instead of understanding what might have gone wrong. Instead of getting outside help, instead of collaborating with others and trying to find the solution, you'll try to actually justify your position when that might actually harm your position and the position of the people on your project team or the people that you work with or around. Here's some action items. You decrease your effectiveness with more self-disclosure, more collaboration. Let people, this collaboration word's a big word. It's an important word in your world. It means that you spend time disclosing what it is that you're concerned about. It means talking with the people, finding out what they're feeling, finding out how they feel about things. That this is going to be important for you. And in having good public discussion about their insights and their opinions, dig it out of them. You're not living in a self-contained world. You live in a world around people that you need their input and they need your input. They need your strength, and the only way they're going to get that is if you have a public discussion about the things that you're interested in, the things that you focus on at home. Having discussions with your spouse or your children or the people that you know, friends, family. That's going to be an important discussion. So that's your behavioral trait of objective.